not like a flower girl and you more of a flower girl, then do that. But like if I'm going to the grocery store, I want to be prepared just in case. Now I know I just said eccentric, but, and I'm not gonna lie, I think the wine is kicking in because I had all these thoughts in my brain, and now that the liquor is starting to, now that the wine is starting to kick in, I feel like getting a little jazzy, You know how they say cuss them out or crash out, which I also agree with, but if you want to keep it soft girl version, just not caring as much. I stopped. Like my brain does not withhold on to information that I'm not going to use later. I don't hold on to people, but they're dying. So I'm gonna put those back. Happy Vlogmas Day 1, y'all. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy winter, happy Monday, happy whatever day y'all are watching this. It is officially Vlogmas, and I'm so excited because it's going to be the first time I actually get to catch Vlogmas in the beginning of the season, day 1. Hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome to my channel. If you guys do not know me, my name is Mika Ambitious Mika. Welcome to my channel. Long time no see, long time no talk, long time no view, okay? So, really quickly, as you guys can tell by the title, I am going to be just either talking to or showing you guys my soft girl December, some habits and things that you guys can be doing differently to ensure that you have a soft girl life. It is the first of the month, so we're in the last quarter of the year. We're getting ready to go into 2026. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we are stepping to another year already. I feel like November just started and now we're here, but hey, we can't stop time, but what we can do is we can decide what we do with our time. So really quickly, guys, we're just going to jump right into it. I do want to just name a few things that I've already been doing to become more into my feminine era or my soft girl life, and to ensure that I'm just not stressed, and that I'm not letting anybody stress me. I'm not letting things stress me. I feel like we're all going to always have things happening in our lives, and we're always going to have stress and anxiety, etc., etc. But what are some things that we can do to minimize some of those issues? What can we do to have brighter skin, to continue to look young and feel young, and things of that nature? Okay, so I'm just going to name a couple of things from the top of my dome that I've been doing, just because I prepared for this video, but not fully. So I'm just going to give you guys at least 3 to 5 things. If I think of extras, we'll keep going, but some of these topics I'm probably going to go a little bit more into detail in later videos and things like that. But I do want to at least give y'all a little something just to start December off. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's here, thank you for watching. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going on a quick ride to the store. I got to where I'm at. Let's get more good. Okay, so these are my keys. I think I tried I don't know which one I tried. I think I'm gonna do strawberry and mint. Sounds interesting. Orchid. Okay. We'll try this one. That. And then I also like to use Dial soap because it is an antibacterial soap. So I got 3 processes that I use. Okay. Let's see. I think 4 bars should get right in. So this is my process. I want to check with this first, then I go in with this, and then I use, this was really good, I'm not gonna lie, I use this really good, but I think I am currently using this sabon. This smells a little different, so I'm trying something different, but this is really good. And when I use those 3, as I'm using those 3 currently, so I'm really just re-upping, makes your skin feel so soft, and you smell good. So, here it is actually. So, I want to try this, because it's kind of like foundation, but not really. Gold may be my thing, but I also said that I wanted to try rose gold. Hold on, y'all. I seen a girl about my skin color. I don't know. I'm gonna do pure gold, and if I need to, I'll come back for the rose gold. So that's what I'll do. That's not bad. Okay, I also said that I was gonna get candles as well. These are really expensive. They're not that bad, but I don't know. I feel like. Let's see. God damn. Some of the good candles, the prices have increased by a lot. So, we're gonna come down here to the $3 candles, because I don't have $19, $20 just one candle. So I'm gonna try to get 3 candles, 1 for each room, I think. So the living room, my room, and the guest room. It is fall, but I'm not really big on vanilla scents. Let's do this citrus champagne. Citrus champagne. Wait, I think I actually like that better than the I don't know. I'm gonna do Tris champagne, and then let's see what else. Not really feeling the caramel. I think I got, no, I don't think I got fall farmhouse, but I'm gonna do this gray one because I like how it smells fresh. I like a lot of fresh scents and soft scents. And then I might do sweet apple. Sweet apple is cute. Sweet apple is fun. No, just kidding. Hey, Zach, if you see this. But no, hey guys, happy Vlogmas. It is the first of the month. I can give y'all this energy now that I'm in a different safe location. I'm at home. Not that the first location was unsafe, but now I can like completely be myself and I can say what the fuck I want. I can curse. I cannot feel awkward if people are around looking at me, etc., etc. But happy Vlogmas, guys, again. So let's just jump into it. So if you see the smoke, obviously it's incense. I have an incense burning, so I'm going to move that so that people won't think that it's something else that it's not. And then I have my glass of wine, so go get your wine if you are a wine girly, or if you want to grab a blunt and watch this. Let's get into it. So I am going to be giving you guys a couple of tips, or just giving you guys things that I starting to do, or that I already do, or that I want to implement. So I'm probably going to talk about things that I probably want to implement towards the end of this video, but I'm also just going off of the dome or whatever, because I be having a lot of things to share with you guys. I be having a lot of things that I want to talk about, but then I have a bunch of like ideas in my brain and it gets scrambled. And if you are a girl in her mid to late 20s, early 30s, or if you're just a black woman or a woman of color, and you struggle with, first of all, let's pause. If you're a person in general that just suffers with like ADHD symptoms, and I'm going to say symptoms because I am not diagnosed, but y'all all know what I'm talking about. If y'all struggle with that like I do, and y'all struggle with like, you know, procrastination over like the simplest thing. Okay, as I was saying before I got really interrupted, if you struggle with procrastination on like the simplest, smallest things, I am with you, and I am trying so hard to break that bad habit now that I know what the actual issue is. Okay, so now without further ado, let's get into some of these soft girl tips. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing on my list of things that I have been doing lately, to make sure that I live not only a soft girl life, but to like reset for the month, just according to some things, like how my year has, like the way my year has been like leading up to this exact moment. The number one thing that I've been repeating to myself, but I just hadn't fully got the entire, I didn't truly get the meaning of it, and I didn't truly start actually like taking steps to do this and understanding the actual like the deeper core. So the number one thing on my list for living a soft girl life would be to decenter men. I know you guys have probably heard of this before, heard of the term, heard of the word, but decenter men. Now when I say that, I'm not saying, oh, let's all hate men and whatnot. All I'm saying is to romanticize your life. Make yourself and who you are and your hobbies and your goals, make that the center of your world. I think a lot of us get kind of caught up when it comes to, you know, dealing with drama when it comes to the opposite sex, because I feel like from a very young age, girls and all women really, from a very young age, we're taught to, you know, oh, you got to be a certain way, you got to look a certain way so you can get a man's attention, etc., etc., etc. You have to do this to get a man, you have to do this to get attention, you got to do, I feel like everything that we do a lot of the times is always, it always goes back to how to get the attention of a man, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Don't get me wrong, they're very handsome, they're very strong, and but they are not all that. They kind of suck a little bit, especially nowadays. The men that we have in our generation, or I'll say the males, because, you know, they like to refer to us as females. I feel like the males in our generation are not like the males in our parents' generation. And I know that's easy to say when we didn't grow up in our parents' generation, because I'm sure they had the same issues. However, I'm just not seeing enough being done from the opposite sex, or I'm not seeing them, you know, speak light about women a certain way enough for us to really care about their opinion and really care about them the way we have been. So for one, the number one thing you can do to like live a soft girl life is to just decenter men altogether, romanticize your life, lean more into your feminine energy, take yourself out on dates, lean more into hobbies that maybe you didn't know that you were interested in, or maybe find the love again for, you know, interests that you were interested in prior to like a relationship, if you got out of, etc., etc. So decentering men is one of them. Let's romanticize our own life, you know. Let's not make, you know, men the number one thing, okay? And plus, I'm sure y'all have heard of the saying that a great woman or a good woman is literally an average guy on his best day. And when you keep that sentiment in your brain, it's actually kind of sad, and it makes you want to be like, okay, you know what? Actually, maybe I do need to like raise my standards and raise my expectations of what, you know, I'm getting in return from these guys. It's just not worth it. I feel like just put that energy back into yourself, okay? Okay, so number 2 on my list would be to pay for convenience. If you guys have another way of rewording that, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but by pay for convenience is pay for little things that make your life easier. And it may not be little, because it may be, you know, a little pricey, and, you know, in today's economy, everything is expensive, everything is increasing, and I totally understand that. So I'm not saying to like spend extra funds that you don't have, but when you can, definitely pay to make your life easier. So for example, I order my groceries, okay? I order my groceries. Now, personal preference, I actually am okay with shopping for my own groceries. I actually like, on the lowest key, grocery shopping. But with everything that I have going on, I'm working, you know, I have multiple streams of income that I have to attend to. I'm trading my time for money. I'm going to the gym 5-6 times a week. I'm in tech school, and realistically, I spend a lot of time outside of my house than I do inside of my house. But when I am in my house, I want to actually sit in my house and be comfortable. So I've started ordering my groceries a lot more. I've always used a grocery ordering service and whatnot, but this time I feel like, okay, you know what? I work extremely hard. I have all this income coming in, and there's a lot of times where I literally just cannot, I just don't have the time to go grocery shopping, or sometimes it just doesn't work with my schedule, or sometimes it's almost like, I don't want to say like an inconvenience, but it's almost like out of the way, but I need to eat. I have to meal prep. I have to cook or whatever. Me ordering groceries, it can get a little pricey because of the service fees and all the taxes that they add on to it. But at the same time, I feel like it's worth it. It like, hey, I seen this one video of this girl talking about how she, you know, she always wanted to get her clothes dry cleaned and tailored for her. So basically, it's a service where she, you know, puts her clothes out by her door, and then someone comes and picks them up. They do the dry cleaning, they tailor it, and then they drop it back at her house. Now, in her defense, she did say that that service was not even that expensive or whatever. But if it makes your life easier, and it makes you feel good, and it makes you feel like you have some sort of like luxuriness about it, then I'm all for it. So I order my groceries. I have it sent to my door. I order off of Instacart. For the most part, I think Instacart is used in a lot of different places. But where I am, I use it. The service fee and the taxes definitely can get expensive, but when I really just need to use it, I use it. If I can go and get my own groceries, if I have the time to go get my own groceries, and that's just what I feel like doing, then I definitely do it. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna pay those extra. I'm gonna pay that service fee if that means I ain't gotta do it. And then depending on what the day's looking like, depending on if my the person who's picking out my groceries, if they do a good job, then I just tip them extra. So pay for convenience, okay? Pay for convenience. Anyways, number 3, I would say pamper yourself. So earlier I said to lean more into your feminine energy, and to romanticize your life. So treat yourself. Buy yourself flowers. Do little things that make you feel like a pretty princess, or make you feel like very, I'm trying to get to the point where I am on my luxurious, I'm living like my luxurious black girl lifestyle. So treat yourself. And I think by treat yourself, I mean do the bare minimum plus more, like add tax on it. I feel like people are going to treat you how you treat yourself. So if you don't play about yourself, then people are not going to play about you. If you treat yourself and you buy yourself nice flowers and you buy yourself like little gifts here and there, and you actually do things for yourself or whatever, no, don't get me wrong, you're going to have some people that want to try to shortchange you and whatnot. But I feel like if you do it for yourself and you really treat yourself well, then I feel like you are going to go into a situation where you, not only are your standards are high and your expectations are high, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I buy myself flowers, I do these little things for myself, and if you're not doing those things, then I have no business talking to you. I have no business trying to start a relationship with you. I have no business dating you. I have no business even friendships, quite honestly. Now, I'm not saying you gotta like do every little thing that you do for yourself for your friends, but for example, I buy my friends flowers, and actually I'm gonna have to like send my homegirl some flowers, and she's gonna like, bitch, I ain't never got no flowers from you. But one of my friends, I do send her flowers, or I'll send her nice things. She sends me nice things. We've done, things for each other in the past, and we will do them now. Like my homegirls, I feel like my expectations and my standards probably should have kicked in a long ass time ago, because the way my homegirls treat me versus how some of these dudes be trying to like, cut in and crazy. Like when I go out to eat with my girls, appetizers, drinks, etc., etc. Either I'm gonna pay, or they gonna pay, or we all split it, or we just take turns. We just really take care of each other. Like we really nurture our friendships. So to go back to what I was saying for number 3 is to treat yourself. Buy yourself flowers. Buy yourselves candles and things like that. It's December. We're late into the holiday season, so obviously we got a lot of sales coming up. Bath and Body Works. I forgot what the store called. It's another store that's the same as Bath and Body Works, but it's a different name. But they're like sister stores. Like there's sales coming up. Get yourself some flowers. I want to show you guys. I already inserted a clip in the beginning of this video of my really pretty flowers that I bought earlier in the week right before Thanksgiving, but they're dying. So I'm gonna put those back. But treat yourself. Like buy yourself nice things and do it because you want to do it. I think that's self-explanatory, so I don't really need to go too far into that topic. But just do little things that you like, things that you genuinely like. If you're not like a flower girl and you more of a flower girl, then do that. But like we gotta do better with how we move, our energy, how we present ourselves, how we treat ourselves, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so number 4 on a soft girl reset for the month, or in general, clean up your place. Organize. Okay, organize. Let's get some type of like flow about our home. If you don't have your own place and you live with someone and you have your own space, and if that's the space that you have to work with, then work with that space or whatever. But if you do have your own home, your own apartment, whatever the case is, organization. We are, like I said, we are in the 4th quarter of 2025. We're going to the new year. We want to declutter. We want to get rid of stuff that we're no longer using anymore, stuff that we're no longer wearing. Maybe that should be like a sub to this or whatever. But yeah, declutter. Like organize your place. Make your house or your home feel homey. Like organize. So if you don't know, depending on what video I have up before this or after this, I moved to a new apartment, or I downsized to a small apartment a couple of months ago over the summer. And because I'm working with smaller space, I feel like I have to do little things, like little organization type of tips and tricks to try to like make my home feel very homey and very comfortable and very girly and very like woman. Like I'm stepping into like I'm not in a weird space right now, because I'm trying to I'm leaning more into like my grown woman taste and whatnot. And because I did downsize to like a smaller place, I have been needing to like find like little tips and tricks on how to actually like organize my place so that I'm maximizing the space that I do have, so that it doesn't feel like I have a bunch of clutter everywhere. So soft girl, organize your space. That way you won't feel so fucking anxious, and so you won't feel like you can't think straight. That's probably why my ADHD has been like going bonkers lately, is because I moved in a couple of months ago and I still have stuff in boxes. So even though I would say I am like 85% done with packing, the other 15% is just stuff that I have not found organizational, I don't know how to say it, 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 organizational, I don't stuff for yet, but I'm actually working on it, and my plan is to have all of my stuff out of boxes at the very least for like before Christmas and New Year's for sure, for sure, but definitely before Christmas because your girl is traveling. So organizing, and I'll probably show you guys what that'll be like its own series and whatnot. But organize your place, make your home feel homey. Once again, if you don't have your own apartment, your own house, if you have a room to yourself, if you have a space to yourself, make it look nice, organize it. That way, every time you look at it, you feel good. Every time you look at it, or every time you're in that vicinity, you feel like you can actually think properly, okay? And I'm looking at myself, but I'm also trying to make sure that I look at the camera. So if you see my eyes wandering, that's why, okay? So organize, organize, organize. Okay, so I think I'm on like either 4 or 5. I think this is 5. So this is going to be the last thing on the top of my brain that I could think of. And then I'm going to go into a couple of things that I want to do that I don't do consistently, okay? So the last one that's on my brain that I can think of for a soft girl reset would be like changing your mindset about certain things. Actually, no, this is going to be 5, and then I'm going to have like a subcategory to go under this because now my brain is working. So change your mindset, okay? Have a positive mindset. I think a lot, because me and my friend was just talking about this yesterday or around some time ago recently. But I feel like you need to start being more delusional about your goals. You need to start being delusional about not just your goals, but like who the fuck you are and what you plan for your life, and just everything that you want. You need to be more delusional. Have you ever seen someone or heard someone who has never uttered a prayer? And this is not for like, because I want to make this clear to you, because if you don't believe in God, then you just don't believe in God. Like whatever, that's okay. You're still safe here. But for example, you ever seen someone who lives a very like reckless and wild life? You've never heard them utter the words God, even though you don't know what they do in their private time. You see how they live their life, or like just in general, maybe you don't know what they do behind closed doors, but just in general, from what you see, they're a fucked up individual. They are not good people, but they be living these grand lifestyles, or they be getting blessed with things that you want, or things that you've been asking for a lot, and the whole time you look like, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing all the right things, I'm boom boom boom. But that's because you low-key have limiting beliefs for yourself. And I feel like part of it is one of those things where like, okay, I know this probably doesn't feel like a soft girl tip or soft girl, but it really is. I feel like that's what it is. Y'all working with me here. Y'all. Mm-hmm. Stop caring so much. Stop caring so much. That's the title of this step. Stop caring so much, okay? Stop caring so much, but also change your mindset about certain things. You need to be a little bit more delusional about your goals, about how you see your life, about how you want your life to be, about the things that you get, and also you need to stop caring so much, okay? It can be hard. It can be very hard when you are a person who cares about certain things and you think about certain things and you just have a certain, cool, I get that. But ignorance truly is bliss. When you're a smart and super intelligent woman and you have like things, you got like 100 tabs open in your brain or whatever, you have enough on your plate for you to like, you're good. I'm thinking enough for both of us. Some things you gotta kind of like just let go and just not care so much. And even if you do care just a little bit, you have to just kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to let that go. I'm just going to let that fly. Because I realized in the past, I used to be the most stressed out and I used to be the most perturbed when I outwardly cared a lot. Because I take great pride in being this type of person and helping people and doing right by people. But then you have to realize that not everybody is like that, and I can't control everybody. I can't control every situation that happens. So when something happens, for when I try to like change my negative thought with a good thought or whatever. I already know that things are going to turn out to be okay, and I know that things are not going to always go as I plan. So when things don't go as I plan, or if something is happening, if a situation or a person, if something is happening and it's stressing me out and it's making me feel like anxious, and it makes me feel like, okay, this is a bit much for me, I don't know if I can handle it, I don't know, whatever the case may be. Lately, a lot lately, what I've been doing, I just been not caring as much. I stopped. Like, my brain does not withhold on to information that I'm not going to use later. I don't hold on to people that don't affect my life anymore. Yeah, that's really all I can say, is to change your mindset, be more delusional, about your goals and stop caring so much. Once you stop caring so much, oh my gosh, you feel good. You feel so much. You feel so good. I would also say as a third sub would be to like you know how they say cuss them out or crash out, which I also agree with. But if you want to keep it soft girl version, just be like, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Just stop caring. Just stop caring. Just be indifferent. That's what it is. Be indifferent. Just be indifferent. Even if you want to go off, even if you want to crash out. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the wine is kicking in because I had all these thoughts in my brain, and now that the liquor is starting to, now that the wine is starting to kick in, I feel like getting a little jazzy. But yeah, so those are my 4 or 5 top things. Hopefully I can remember as I'm like going. But the first one was to decenter men. The second one was to treat yourself, pay for inconvenience, stop caring, be indifferent, and organizing your space. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Now, as far as a couple of things that I want to do that I don't do or that I'm not consistent with doing, that I think would contribute to living a soft girl lifestyle and ways that I can reset for the month, is this is going to be really like small and like probably like, but I would like to start making my bed in the morning. So I used to do this, but not consistently, and I still don't do it, but do it inconsistently. Is I want to start making my bed in the morning. Now, your girl, I get up pretty early or whatever, but when I get up, I just kind of like throw the covers and then I leave. And then sometimes I'm not like a person who I throw a lot of clothes on my bed and then I come back home, there's a pile of clothes. But there are times where I do walk into my room and my bed looks all scrambled up and shit, and I'm just going like, what the fuck happened? And then I just hop into my bed, and now my bed is all like, you know, all over the place. What I used to do is, instead of making my bed in the morning, I used to make my bed before I go to bed. But I feel like if I make my bed in the morning, then it's already made, and then I can just come home to a fresh bed, and that makes it, you know. Now, I don't know if we want to include this in a soft girl reset or whatever, because maybe that's just a thing that all adults in general should be doing. But that's one thing that I think that, you know, yeah. That's one thing that I feel like I could work on. I want to work on that, and I want to work on making my bed before I go to work, getting up early enough to do that, making my bed, and then, you know, making sure, yeah. What else? One thing that I do this way more than the last thing that I just named, but taking my clothes, like doing my makeup in the morning. Actually, that's not what I was gonna say, but that's the one that came out because I feel like that's the one that, you know, it's the winter time, so yeah. So I'll say this. So doing my makeup. So what I was going to say previously was, I was going to say taking my clothes out at night, but that's something that I kind of already do, but I do want to be more consistent with it. So I'll say I do want to be more consistent with taking my clothes out the night before, which is something I don't have a problem with, but I do get into my moods where I'm like, I'll figure it out in the morning. I want to stop doing that, and I want to just do it the night before, so that when I get up in the morning, it doesn't feel like I'm just rushing and I'm grabbing stuff, okay? But I do want to start doing my makeup a little bit more. If you guys can't tell, I did it today. But here's where it's not soft girl. I did my makeup at work or whatever, and I know that's usually not a problem for some people, because I think it's normal to have like a cute little makeup bag with you. That way you can like freshen up at work right before, you know, you clock in and whatnot or whatever. Or maybe I just need a different system in how I do it. If you guys have any tips and tricks and combos for how you do that, drop them in the comments because I need to know. But I do want to start doing my makeup a little bit more. I want to look more put together. I am a 27-year-old young woman, and I would like to start looking more put together. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I necessarily need makeup, because I don't need makeup and whatnot, but I do want to look more put together and look more done, especially since it's getting cold outside. I don't want to be looking dry and ashy. So I do want to work on one, like making sure that I'm prepped and fully ready for the next day, but I also want to do my makeup more or whatever. And it's like, it's not a desire that I have to necessarily wear makeup all the time, because I'm at the point now where I have like a 5 to 10 minute makeup look that I can do real quick or whatever. But sometimes, I don't know, like it's just not consistent, and it's something that I do want to work on or whatever. I feel like if I'm going to the grocery store, I want to be prepared just in case. Now, I know I just said decenter, but I just want to always look put together. You know what it is? Sprinkle, if y'all know who that is. She said something once that I totally agreed with, and I was like, you know, cool. But she said something along the lines of, when you go into the grocery store, even if you go into your mailbox or whatever, you just always want to look put together. You don't want to look like you just rolled out of bed and you looking crazy. And I think too, it's from what my grandma used to teach us all the time about, you know, going outside and looking presentable and things like not wearing scarves and bonnets, not going outside dressed a certain way. My granny was definitely a big person on that. And I feel like nowadays, us women, we have gotten too lax. Not all of us, some of y'all be on y'all shit still, and I like that for y'all, clock that. So love that for you. Y'all are my inspiration and motivation. But I do feel like we've gotten really, really relaxed, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't care what other people think. No, you should not care what other people think per se, but you should care what you think about yourself. And I guess if you don't care, then other people are not going to care because they're like, well, shit, this bitch don't care, so I don't really give a fuck, and I'm just not going to approach this person. But you just never know. You might run into an opportunity. It doesn't have to do with like meeting a romantic partner. It could have everything to do with like a business opportunity. Basically, what Sprinkle was saying was, you want somebody to look at you and be like, oh my gosh, like what she's wearing is so cute. Like, you want to be the motivation for the next girl. And that's what I want to be. And usually when I'm out and I do get compliments on just on anything, whether it's my hair, whether it's my looks, that makes me feel good. So I want to dress. It doesn't have to be like over the top, but I do want to get into a habit of making sure that I actually do, you know, I look presentable, I look done, I look very pretty and dainty. And that way, when I am out in public, whether I am somebody, like, you know, it doesn't really matter. I want someone to look at me, or the next woman to look at me and be like, I want them to get ideas of what they want to look like, or what they want to dress like, or what they want to style themselves like when they want to update their own style. I want to be that person or whatever. And I do feel like, for the most part, how I carry myself is very, I carry myself, because my friend has told me this before, but I carry myself in such a way to where like the shit, how I carry myself doesn't always match with the individuals that I connect myself to, or if that makes sense. So I just do want to be more cautious about how I present myself, how I'm out in the world, and all that good stuff. What's another soft girl thing that I would like to, that's all I have so far. If you guys can think of any other soft girl tips that maybe I missed, or maybe things that you guys do that I maybe did name, please drop them in the comments. Let me know. If you guys want me to expand on some things, let me know in the comments. I need as many ideas as I can get to create content for you guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about my list. And let me know what you guys do to reset, or just live a soft girl life in general. But if you're resetting for the month specifically, let me know. A lot more videos will be coming up. I do have a monthly schedule of what type of videos I'm going to be uploading for you guys. This is the perfect time for me to experiment, to see what kind of content you guys enjoy, what you guys like. As I've said before, most of my content is on fitness and health and whatnot. So if you want more fitness tips and tricks, go look at my previous videos, or follow me on msfitmika and things like that. My social media obviously should be across the bottom or the top or wherever. And yeah, if you're into that, definitely get into, let's get groovy. But let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys had fun with me. Hopefully I didn't talk too much or talk your ear off or like go all over the place. But I won't know unless I just throw this out there. So I love you guys. Happy Vlogmas Day 1. And let's have a fun Christmas. If I think of anything else, I'll definitely add it to my shorts and whatnot. So bye. Oh, all right, let's get into it. Okay. Not like, you know, don't get me wrong, they're very handsome, they're very strong, and but I'm gonna have to like send my homegirl some flowers, and she's gonna like, bitch, I ain't never got no flowers from you. So that's what I'm drinking. I'm trying to be smooth. Okay. Whew. Let's see. I'm like, I wake up in the morning feeling like, never mind. So what did I just say? An average man on his best day. That's not Lego. But yeah, so let's stop decentering men. That's the number one. Let's start there. It's my, what step is this? 3 or 4? The wine is kicking in, y'all. Okay. That's not soft girl of me.